Courtney Banghart and the Tar Heels, meanwhile, looking to pick up their first win under Coach Banghart, having lost their first game each of the last 3 appearances. And we now do tip off this evening session with the Tar Heels and the Tigers from the Greensboro Coliseum.
And this is the lineup, Jen, that they have played with most of the season prior to the Hodgson and the Usby injury.
Eva Hodgson was not available in the regular season meeting between these two teams. North Carolina did win on the road in Clemson. Good start for Kelly. Starting 5 for the Clemson Tigers. Bree Perpignan, the transfer at point guard. Nunu Bradford, as they call her, the freshman Ruby Whitehorn. Amari Robinson and Hannah Hank, who had the big game yesterday. Usby running the floor, but Robinson running with her. Things getting a little willy-nilly there on that play, but we'll now try to regain some measure of control.
You know, I've seen Amari Robinson on the sidelines of Dabo Sweeney's Clemson football team. That was like a DB right there covering on the deep ball.
No contact, looked back, got the ball, was clean. Perpignan dishes at the last second. Good idea. Robinson with the points.
So both teams getting inside, the others match up D. And that'll be something to keep your eye on, is getting in the middle, playing off balance, being able to handle the length of both teams.
You talked about Amanda Butler coming into this ACC tournament and being able to pick up at least 1 win in Greensboro, looking to do a little bit more this time around as the 10 seed and earn a date with Duke tomorrow. And Courtney Banghart, her team last year was a 4 seed, had the double bye, so they started off in the quarterfinals, and you may remember it was one and done, but what a one it was, losing in overtime to Virginia Tech in that quarterfinal game.
Alyssa Usby comes up with that play because she plays in the middle of that matchup, and she is really good at anticipating that uphill pass from the wing to the top. She will go for that steal.
Kelly, an all-ACC first-team selection for the 2nd straight year. There is Whitehorn, got her hands to the basketball. Perpignan, quick down the court, but Kennedy Todd Williams, step for step.
I love that Clemson is pushing in transition here and trying to attack North Carolina before they get organized. You can see Kennedy Todd Williams touches it last. Good call by the officials.
Whitehorn, the highly touted freshman for the Tigers this season, their first ever McDonald's All-American, wound up a member of the ACC All-Freshman team.
I saw her warming up today, shooting a lot of threes. She adds that to her game because she's already got the other tools. She could be really exciting for Clemson and Amanda Butler.
And she averages just under 10 points per game, Whitehorn, on the season. Here is Usby using her left.
And she is so good and so skilled, and she will dominate the logo area on both sides of the ball here. She very seldom leaves the paint. And she's got the Hannah Hank matchup.
Bradford working on Kelly. Off a couple of fingertips, and Dee Kantner lets us know it'll stay this end.
Watch Usby right here, catch and makes a quick decision. She sees a lane to the bucket, right down the lane line, a straight line drive.
Angel talked about the time that Usby was out and Hodgson was out in a critical stretch in February for this Tar Heel team. Robinson fouled as she goes up with it.
Amari Robinson has led this team all season long for Clemson. 14 points a game, 6 rebounds. She has improved her 3-point percentage and her 3-point makes.
She'll take a deep breath, step up to the free throw line where she leads the Tigers this season. Converts nearly 80% of her free throw attempts, and she's been there a lot. That was her 95th free throw attempt of the season.
She has incredible basketball pedigree. She has stayed 4 years. She loves being a Tiger, and she's gotten better every year under Amanda Butler's developmental system with her staff.
Well, Robinson has all 4 points for the Tigers, and we are knotted up at 4. Hodgson knocks down the 3.
Doesn't need much time nor space. Good recognition by North Carolina. If they move the ball and they play unselfishly, they have a lot of weapons.
Robinson, she'll answer, you said it.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's her spot on the top of the key. In the slots and on the top.
Amari Robinson come to play today. All 7 points now for Clemson, matching the Tar Heels. Kelly hits another. 3-3-3, we go.
Okay, here's a basic fundamental that I absolutely love. Usby puts that ball in her left hand. She gets to the middle and she makes a left-handed pass right to the Deja Kelly shooting pocket. It's beautiful.
Kelly whistled for the foul on this play, her first.
Okay, watch Deja Kelly's going to get to the corner, and Usby's going to turn, and when she gets here, she's going to make this pass right in the pocket. It's a great play. It's a beautiful pass, and Deja Kelly says, thank you very much for the assist. Or points and says, thank you for the pass.
Love that attention to detail, too, that you point out, Debbie. Not just finding the player, but putting it right where she wants to be able to shoot it. Robinson keeps it going for Clemson.
Feed the hot hand. Keep it simple. Neither one of these coaches overcoach it. You know, they let their players play. There's a lot of freedom on both sides.
Anya Poole misses on her attempt. Perpignan, another good dish on the inside. As Eno Inyang has come into the game with some points. First ones that are not scored by Amari Robinson.
I mean, Perpignan has been so good all season, and she's the natural point guard that Amanda Butler was able to get out of the portal. It's made a huge difference in the way they play offensively.
Usby, nothing but net. Both teams shooting at a hot clip to start this one.
I mean, it's too easy right now, right? But you know what? I'm not complaining based on the defensive struggles we watched yesterday. We need some offense in this tournament.
That's gonna go against Clemson as Hodgson goes down. Robinson on the screen, called for the foul.
Ooh. Whoops.
Both teams making a couple changes. Kelly takes a shot. Destiny Adams just checked in, gets the rebound, gets it out to Hodgson.
You know, Hodgson added 15 pounds of muscle, and it's increased her range. When she drives to the basket, you cannot knock her off her line. She plays the game on better balance now because she's stronger. You can definitely see it in her offense.
Usby just took it away from Perpignan. Now she leads the break for North Carolina. Elijah Douglas there defending. Kayla McPherson back to Hodgson. Why not?
Hodgson, you go ahead and shoot till your arm falls off. Great decision and transition by McPherson. You feed the player that has the hot hand, and that's exactly what North Carolina did. Hodgson is filling it up for the Heels. She's got 3 buckets, all outside the arc. North Carolina with a 7-point lead here in the first quarter.
The Ally ACC Women's Tournament is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. What a game. What a great start to this one so far. North Carolina, 18 points, leading Clemson by 7. But just as we were going to break, we got word there was a technical foul assessed to the North Carolina bench. An assistant coach had come out onto the floor during live action, so Dee Cantner, leading the official
You know what?
Told us.
You know what, though?
That's a
Come on. I know, it is. And what's odd and funny to me, and it's not funny anybody gets the technical, but Etoro Coleman was a great point guard in the history of Clemson basketball. She's an assistant coach for Courtney Banghart. I'm sure she's excited about playing her alma mater. And she probably was anticipating the timeout because we're under the 5-minute mark. So she got excited and came out on the court. The officials are adjudicating the rules the way they are written. That is a technical foul. But I do find that to be kind of humorous, right? I mean, hey, you know, you're playing against your alma mater. You're excited. If you knew Atoro, you know she's going to be sweating that one later because she would never do anything like that.
I know Coach Coleman, and I definitely agree with you right there, Deb. It's so funny because she was even saying my bad while she was on the bench, but she mentioned it as there's an offensive foul here. Coach Coleman was a standout at Clemson, two-time ACC champion. She led the team in steals and assists. She went on to coach at her alma mater for 11 seasons and now is wearing different colors. Where does your loyalty lie? I don't know. It's a good question, right?
You know what? 96 and 99 is when they won with the great Jim Davis, who was the head coach here at Clemson. And yeah, I remember those championships well. Atoro was a great player.
1999 ACC Tournament MVP when the Clemson Tigers beat the North Carolina Tar Heels in the final. Amari Robinson with those 2 free throws, already with 11 points in this first quarter. 11 of the 13 for the Tigers so far. Kayla Elmore, Malaysia Douglas, and Inyang on the floor. Douglas streaking to the basket and one opportunity.
What a great finish by Douglas. A great backdoor cut. Look how cleared out it is. This is a called play by Amanda Butler coming off the timeout and off the technical fouls. Foul free throws. If you just get the verticality there, if you just get outside the arc, and if you can't get outside the arc, just go straight up inside the arc.
There is a foul as both teams try to go for the rebound. Usby still not willing to let go of the basketball as she goes down to the floor. It is Elmore called for the foul for Clemson.
See, you got to pinch Usby on the free throw line. You cannot let her athleticism be a factor in that position on the floor. And that's, for her to draw a foul on that on a 50-50 ball, that's amazing. That's the kind of winning plays that Alyssa Usby brings to Courtney Banghart's team.
An all-ACC first-team selection along with Deja Kelly. So 2 all-ACC first-teamers in the starting 5. Thought Hodson was about to drop another one in. Kennedy Todd Williams, by the way, all-ACC second team for the Tar Heels.
Deja Kelly has the Whitehorn matchup.
The take from Bradford. And it is the speedy Kayla McPherson, who made her debut at Clemson earlier this year. Been dealing with an injury and finally was able to get out in the court.
She missed 808 days of playing basketball due to injury. That's an amazing number. She's averaging 23 minutes since she came into the lineup, and she is really good pressuring the ball and running the point, which gets Deja Kelly off the ball some.
Just the 10th appearance of the season for Kayla McPherson, a former Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year, and McDonald's All-American out of Hull, Georgia. Seven on the shot clock for the Tigers. Bradford and Yang calling for it. Takes a dribble and is fouled.
We were in the first quarter, and both these coaches have already played 8 players, getting their depth some opportunity early. Obviously, Clemson played yesterday and won. They want to make sure they stay fresh, but North Carolina getting everybody a chance to get a little run here in the first quarter, utilizing their great depth as well.
Destiny Adams just picked up her second personal foul, so she'll head back to the bench. Eno Inyang, the 6'3" sophomore center, at the free throw line for the Tigers. Two-point game. Tiani Key, and then it is lost out of bounds. Third turnover by the Tar Heels.
Some of that All those combinations, right? Taking some time to gel. John and Sue Gibbs over there helping out the officials with a catch, sitting on courtside. Super fans of women's basketball.
Do have a whistle, a little stop play.
You know what?
3 seconds.
If you're going to call 3 seconds, you call it in the first quarter. So that way the players know. At least you can get it adjudicated early.
Paulina Paris, Tiani Key, a freshman on the floor for the Tar Heels right now. Paris had her first career start in the regular season meeting against the Tigers. Had a career high that game as well. Foul on the rebound. It's the first on Usby. And that is the 6th team foul on the Tar Heels, so Clemson will shoot some free throws. That'll put Ruby Whitehorn at the free throw line.
As does Amari Robinson. At the line shooting 2 will be Ruby Whitehorn.
No points in yesterday's game for Ruby. First time all season she was held scoreless. The 70th annual New York Life ACC men's tournament begins next Tuesday afternoon right here at Greensboro Coliseum. We'll have all 3 first-round games for you at 2, 4:30, and 7 Eastern right here on ACC Network and also on the ESPN app. Great couple of weeks here in Tournament Town, Greensboro, North Carolina. And a 1-point game in this day 2, round 2 matchup. Kennedy Todd Williams makes it a little more for North Carolina.
That is 5 triples in the first quarter for North Carolina. That's a big number for the Tar Heels. They only make 6 a game.
Well, it helps having Eva Hodgson finding her stroke. She's hit 3 of them so far.
See, that's the pass that you got to ball fake Usby.
Harris, easy 2 in transition.
That uphill pass from the wing to the top or the wing to the elbow, those are the ones that she anticipates so well.
McPherson hits the deck. It's a foul against the Tigers and a little dance from McPherson after the call.
This is the steal by Usby and the layup by Paris.
8 turnovers in this first quarter by the Tigers. That is certainly going to be concerning for Amanda Butler. Well, you said call it in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Now we've seen the 3-second call going both ways.
Now the players know that they're watching.
Both teams shooting over 50% in this first quarter. Winner will go on to the quarterfinals, meet the Duke Blue Devils. Robinson, strong take, and she is fouled. You can see why she goes to the free throw line so often.
Yeah, look at that quick footwork in an isolation one-on-one. She's big and strong. She knows, like good post players know, where they are in location to the basket where they catch the ball. It's really important.
You mentioned earlier her basketball playing family. Her dad played at Notre Dame. Her mom is in the Providence Athletics Hall of Fame, had her jersey retired, 2-time All-American. Amari trying to carry on the basketball tradition.
But that's not the famous Robinson in the family. Kennedy, her sister, who is a young adult living with Down syndrome, is her inspiration. And Amari is a big fan and supporter of the Clemson Life program at the university.
As I know you are as well, Debbie.
My son Frankie graduated from the Clemson Life program. They did a good story on Kennedy yesterday. They just didn't mention Frankie's name, and trust me, he let me hear about it.
I have no doubt. I know what a big fan he is, too. He spent some time with Amanda Butler, right?
Yeah, he was a manager for Amanda, and there are several Clemson Life students have been. There's Kennedy enjoying watching her sister, her big sister. Maybe one day Kennedy will want to go to Clemson and be a member of Clemson Life. It's a wonderful program.
It's really cool, too, because Amari Robinson said that's the reason she chose special education for her major. She called Kennedy the queen of the house. No doubt about it. She wears her jersey every single game. You can see her cheering throughout the game as well. Usually when she's running through the tunnel at Clemson when the fire's going off, she is just elated, and with her family as well. Just a family that we love to talk about, and a great job they've done with both daughters.
Perpignan so quick, Angel, getting to the basket, and great first quarter for Amari Robinson, but her Tigers trailing North Carolina 24-19 our score after one. Great start to our evening session with the first quarter between these two teams, Debbie Antonelli, both shooting the basketball well to start things off.
This is what we like. Teams that are playing the game hard and clean and making shots, both taking advantage of the other's defense. We haven't really seen a bad shot taken. And that's good for both these coaches because they have worked really hard. You know, North Carolina won the first matchup in Clemson. Clemson turned the ball over too much, and they've got to clean that part of the game up, but they've been doing a good job when they have possession scoring, getting good shots.
Excuse me, Debbie. Maddie Ott into the game before Clemson took that last shot. Harris.
I think that's too quick for North Carolina, even though she's capable.
Bradford trying to break the Tigers out of this field goal drought they've been in. Nearly 4 minutes without a field goal. They've had some free throws, though, to keep it close. Kennedy Todd Williams, you betcha.
Much better because Deja Kelly switches sides of the floor. They reverse it in transition before Clemson can get organized with their defense.
Clemson overall in the game right now is 5 for 12 from the floor. North Carolina has made 6 threes as Usby awkwardly goes down.
So they hedge that ball screen, and the tag from the weak side is Usby, who makes a great save right here to set their D. Look at Usby come over and knock that away. That is incredible hustle to not foul.
Whitehorn, shot off the inbounds.
I think one of the things about North Carolina and their rebounding ability is they don't have like 6'5", you know, or 6'4", really. What they play with are athletic, long, and they rebound out of their area, so they don't have to just rebound the ball over their head. They can go get it.
Perpignan playing some good D on Kelly. Harris, 3 Tigers around her, too many. Hank, still scoreless for the Tigers, coming off that career-high 19 points in the win against Pitt yesterday.
It's a great contest to the three-point line by Poole to get out there, force a tough shot. That's when Clemson could ball fake, shot fake, or make one more pass, or get it right here to Amari Robinson.
Go-to gal.
She's money.
$15 points for Amari Robinson. Deja Kelly, by the way, picked up her second personal. Takes the 3. Offensive rebound, Usby.
Bailed out by the offensive rebounding ability of Alyssa Usby. Couple of tough shots there.
Eight points equals North Carolina's largest lead in this game. Tar Heels playing some good defense. Hodgson, Todd Williams. Robinson and Hodgson both go down on the play. There is a foul charged on Kennedy Todd Williams. That's her second. This is very physical, this encounter between these two.
Well, I think Hodgson gets kind of squeezed in between the two, and Omari takes the brunt of that contact.
Good hands on the inside. Todd Williams sneaks in front to take it away. Usby.
North Carolina really not converting in their transition opportunities. Maybe every third time. It's allowing Clemson to stay in it. And Clemson is doing a good job right here of showing some poise. Get the shot you want.
Robinson turns, looks,
Good call. I looked over at Amanda Butler and she called out that set. She wants Amari Robinson to have the ball right now.
17 points. Why not? Keep going to the hot hand. Usby. Nothing over Robinson. Tar Heels 2 for 9 this quarter after a red hot start to the game. Whitehorn, yeah.
Nice. You don't come off the strong side corner, but the analytics might tell you, because Whitehorn's a 22% three-point shooter, that maybe you pinch a little bit more, and Hodgson followed the scout.
Kelly answers right back for North Carolina.
Great skip by Usby. She's such a tremendous facilitator in the middle of the floor, and she's getting better at making decisions quicker when the ball hits her hands. It doesn't take her long to read the defense.
You know, this North Carolina team finished below where they were projected to finish 5th, finished 7th. And we'll say which way this goes. Goes against Clemson. Third personal, Debbie, on Amari Robinson.
Watch the relocation on the weak side once the ball goes in to Alyssa Usby. The ball's going to go here, and Deja Kelly's going to slide here. It's great execution by the Heels. It allows Kelly to catch and shoot. Again, a perfect pass. Usby delivering strikes right now.
In the previous huddle for Amanda Butler, that was something she was telling her team. Keep the shooters marked, meaning communicate where shooters are at all times. Right now, the Tar Heels have 3 players that have 2 or more threes, and she's concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen now is you come out with a little bit of a longer closeout out of your matchup, and that opens up some driving lanes. So your help defense has got to be good. Amanda Butler's built her team defensively around protecting the rim and inside out. So North Carolina is stretching that D a little bit here in the second quarter.
The other challenge for Clemson at the moment is their leading scorer, Amari Robinson, on the bench with those 3 personal fouls. She's had 17 points in this game, so they're going to need somebody else to start stepping up a little bit on the offensive end. Inye, Robinson's replacement.
And you know what, I'm not second guessing Amanda Butler's decision to leave Amari out there with 2, because she's the ultimate trustworthy player on the court for Amanda Butler, and if you're going to stay around, you got to have your best player to beat the Heels.
North Carolina is a team hoping to host, currently projected to do so. So let's play a little game, Debbie Antonelli.
If you value the net, this is the team. If you value strength of schedule, this is it. If you like wins against the top 25, remember, we do not have quad 1, 2, and 3 in the women's game. All right, so which team do you like, Jen?
Well, now they're revealed. I'm going to go with North Carolina.
And all these teams are still alive in their postseason conference tournaments. Big East has not started yet with Villanova. So there's still a lot to be played and a lot to be determined.
I do, though, value those top 25 wins, and considering North Carolina has gone such a big chunk in February without some key players in their starting lineup. And now getting back, getting healthy at just the right time.
Look at McPherson getting a stance.
7 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Douglas. Shot fake, the drive from Gaines is an offensive foul. Boy, these calls all seem to have gone against the Tigers so far in this game.
And Gaines is so athletic. If she just goes one dribble to the gap, pull up right there. Instead, she tries to get all the way to the rim.
That's Kiki Gaines, a sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia.
She can jump over and elevate against most defenders.
McPherson on cue. Gaines going up for the rebound.
Last year when I watched Gaines play, I didn't think she realized how good she could be. This year I've watched her play and I think she's starting to get it. But she still has a whole other level she can get to.
Only averages about 9.5 minutes per game on the season for the Tigers. They need her now. Robinson in foul trouble. Has Elmore out on the floor as well. Perpignan loses the dribble. That extra pass is not going to be enough time to get a shot off.
And ever since Robinson picked up that third and went to the bench, it's become a little bit more challenging offensively for Clemson. They haven't scored in almost 3 minutes.
And then there's that as well. That's a problem for the Tigers. Took much better care of the basketball yesterday. You think Usby's stuck, and then she finds a way out.
She is so valuable. The 5 games that she was out, they lost 3 of them. That's how important she is to everything they do.
And those 5 coincided with the 8 that Hodgson was out. So both of those players were out. That's a travel on the Tigers.
Usby just gets herself out of trouble, keeps her dribble alive, her head up. Nice job by Adams making herself available on the backside.
Amari Robinson relegated to the bench, trying to fire up her team as best she can with those 3 fouls, but the Tigers, nearly another 3.5-minute drought. They had one of those to start this quarter as well, coming out of the first. Usby not letting up. The lead continues to grow, largest of the game for the Tar Heels.
Has Usby played every minute of this game? I don't think she's come out. She's played every minute.
Amanda Butler wants a timeout. We'll take one with her. It's a 9-0 Tar Heel run. Tar Heel fans, this is Alyssa Usby.
A little bit of everything. Up the line, tips, deflections, block shots. She can stuff the stat sheet on the right side of the box score. All those categories there, not just points and rebounds. I've got her unofficially for 3 assists by my count. She has been terrific all game and has played every minute so far at a high level.
Still remember how she was so motivated by the fact that when she came to North Carolina 3 years ago, she was the lowest ranked recruit according to the recruiting experts in the class. She wrote that on a whiteboard, put it up in her dorm room, and just used that to fuel what has been a wonderful career so far for her here at North Carolina.
I mean, she kicked a 35-yard field goal at the spring football game last year. Wonder what she's going to do this year. I'm sure Coach Brown's going to get her back out there.
Boy, those were some much-needed points as Nunu Bradford, who had 15 points, knocked down 4 triples yesterday, has her first points of the game.
Back-to-back turnovers.
That was an issue in the regular season meeting as well, and Deja Kelly, the only defender back. That is 3 on Kelly.
This is how Clemson can get back in it. Back-to-back turnovers by the Tar Heels. Get to the free throw line with the clock stopped. Douglas to the line, a 61% free throw shooter.
Now, North Carolina wound up winning the regular season meeting at the end of January, 69-58 at Clemson. They were up 22 points at one point in that game, but that Clemson went on a 17-0 run to cut it to 4 points heading into the fourth quarter.
I would expect some full court pressure here, maybe by Amanda Butler, just to try to change the rhythm here the last minute 30. See if they can keep this at 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah, this Tiger team not going to be daunted as they try to fight their way back into this game. Our own Ivory Latta, Kelly Gramlich, I'm sure, looking on in their shades of blue and orange on the set. A lot of interest in this matchup for those two as Eno Inyang picks up her second personal. There's our crew on site. They'll be taking care of you at halftime, as they have been all tournament long. I see the fist, Kelly Gramlich. Ivory maybe wasn't quite ready. I'm sure she will be. They'll be ready to throw it down when they get on set. We'll see how it all plays out. I know there's a bet at hand. Right now, Ivory Latta, who had some pretty memorable ACC tournament moments herself.
Oh my goodness,
for
are
North
you kidding
Carolina.
me? Ivory was the ultimate entertaining point guard in the history of the ACC. I'm not sure anybody had a bigger smile carrying the ball around for the Tar Heels. And Sylvia Hatchell in that four-peat they ran through here. Of course, everybody remembers Ivory doing some chin-ups on the rim after she cut the net down. I think she could still do them, too.
I think she could. I think she should if North Carolina finds their way to winning a championship. Long way to go. Tar Heels starting their journey toward a title today. Courtney Banghart's team, the 7 seed, 11-7 in conference play, in what all the coaches and pundits will tell you the toughest year they've ever seen in the ACC. Usby, speaking of tough.
Wow, that's just physically tough weight room bucket.
Double digits now for Usby with 10.
I mean, I hate to start thinking triple-double, but she's really stuffing the stat sheet.
Well, that should have been an assist for Hannah Hank. Eventually, Elmore is able to get the points. Bradford trying to go for the steal, instead gets whistled for the foul, her second. And you think about this Clemson team, Debbie, a lot of what they do starts with their defense. So Bradford, one of the players that leads that charge defensively on the perimeter. She'll head to the bench, though, for the final few seconds of this first half.
Clemson had a foul to give, so maybe that was part of the plan.
Todd Williams left open in the corner.
Got time for a shot. You got to get it up the court.
Now Ott's in trouble. There will be no shot to be had for the Tigers, and it is a North Carolina lead despite a huge first half from Amari Robinson. She went out with foul trouble. The Tar Heels took over. They lead it 40-32 after the first half. Let's send you now to Angel Gray.
All right, I guess we're good. So when you're looking at your team offensively to start, you have 4 players that are close to double figures at this point, 7 threes already. What do you like about how they're moving the ball?
Yeah, you know, we haven't played a lot of zone since the last time we played these guys. So, you know, it's just a quick adjustment to go from the angles that you have in player to player versus zone. I like the way the ball's moving.
So let's switch it to defense now. Amari Robinson, a huge piece for them in the first half, 17 points. Adjustments there.
I hope that Amanda takes her out, man. She's a hard guard. She's got a lot of experience. She can score in a lot of ways, and it's just really comfortable in a lot of spots on the floor. So I'm going to hope that Butler takes her out.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
We'll see if Courtney Banghart gets her wish. I'm sure we will see some Amari Robinson in the second half. For now, let's see if Kelsey Riggs can keep Ivory and Kelly in check over on the set.
Jen, we know there is absolutely zero chance I am able to do that, even on a good day, but especially when their teams are going head-to-head. We got
for Clemson.
Where Usby has shut down Hannah Hank, except for that nice backdoor cut.
First points of the game for Hannah Hank, the senior from Port Lincoln, South Australia, coming off a career-high 19 in the first round yesterday.
Hank set that up perfectly to cut back door.
Baseline jumper. Bradford and Usby fighting for the rebound. Angel, you had a chance to catch up with Amanda Butler.
Yes, and her message to her team has not changed much since the first half. She said she has to make sure that her team continues to mark shooters, stop turning the ball over, in which they have 16 at this point. And she said when Robinson gets in, another 17 would be nice too.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, quick timeout here. We'll be right back to Greensboro. Another game still to come here from the Greensboro Coliseum. Tonight, the Miami Hurricanes getting off the bus, the 6th seed in this tournament arriving. They'll be taking on the 11th seeded Boston College Eagles. So good to see Dontavia Wagner back out on the floor for Boston College. She was a big part of their win yesterday against Georgia Tech. That's coming up next after the conclusion of this game between Clemson and North Carolina. All these teams trying to vie for a spot in tomorrow's quarterfinals. Six-point Tar Heel advantage coming off the timeout.
Now Usby's on the backside of the matchup. Courtney Banghart moves her around depending on where the scoring is coming from, is what she told us. And then she gets a tip and deflection there. I mean, so active off the ball.
I remember there was one coach this year, Debbie, I'm trying to remember which it was, that described her as a superwoman, Alyssa Usby, for all that she does. As you see Robinson checking into the game, so we'll see if that changes some things for Clemson.
Well, and Usby, who has 2 personal fouls, has to be careful as well, but I think she'll be matched up. She gets a tip there. Matched up wherever Amari Robinson is.
Hodgson looking inside to who else? Usby.
And Robinson has to avoid being aggressive there.
Has to be careful playing with those 3 fouls. Always tough for a post player. Not tough for any player, I'm sure, but Robinson's been so strong when she's had the ball in this game.
When Clemson struggled, yeah, that's a dive down the middle of the lane, but you got to make a play on balance, right? And Robinson finally misses a shot. She's made all of her shots to this point, but Clemson can't stay on top of that zone. They got to dive down, take the ball below the free throw line, go to the corners, get inside out.
Usby. Offensive rebound will give the Tar Heels new life in this possession. Under 10. Hodgson seems to be finding her groove again. Another offensive rebound. That does the job for Poole. Amari Robinson went out 5:34 mark in the second quarter. Clemson looked a little lost offensively after that. They need her to keep doing that.
She's got to keep finding space. They got to work to get the ball where she can get a quality catch.
19 now for Robinson. Turnover gives Tigers the ball back. Perpignan.
Good find.
Bradford.
That's a good find by Perpignan.
Todd Williams pulls up pretty.
She was coasted. Kennedy Todd Williams waiting for rebounders. Smart choice and decision.
She coasts, she glides. There's just something about her movement.
Yeah, she's smooth. I don't think she sweats.
Doesn't look like it anyway. Good hands. I mean, the Tar Heels are just all over the basketball anytime it comes in the paint.
Well, they've also kept Clemson on top of the floor and not allowed them inside. And it's really challenging in the gaps when you see 1.5 to 2 players trying to navigate that defense.
18 turnovers in this game for the Tigers. They had 21 regular season meeting. Tar Heels also had trouble taking care of the ball back in January, but they got the win. Hodgson lines it up, and there is a foul whistled away from the basketball. Fatuzasoko Stevens calling it out, and it's against Usby, her third. So Usby and Kelly both with 3 fouls for North Carolina. Robinson with 3 for Clemson. Some key pieces for both teams in this game. Need to be careful. Whitehorn wants the 3. She hit one in the first half.
Really good rebound.
Poole's starting to make her presence felt a little bit more, especially on the glass. There she goes again. It is blocked, though, by Hank. Hank ran the floor after that block. Now she gets the shot.
And those are the shots that have to go in for Clemson. That is a great look.
Kelly. Follow up, Todd Williams. Oh, they've got blood on the knee of Alyssa Usby, so that'll give us a little bit of a break here. Amari Robinson, a big story for Clemson. We're going to talk to her mom when we come back to Green.
12-point North Carolina lead here in the third quarter. On the left is Amari Robinson. On the right is her mom, Andrea Magnum Robinson. 33 years ago on today, Amari's mom led Providence to a Big East championship by beating UConn in Stores 82-61. Her mom was the MVP of the Big East tournament. The Providence win ended a 22-game home game winning streak for Gino Auriemma's team, and her mom is the only Providence player to be MVP of the Big East tournament. Angel?
Well, since you're talking about those legendary numbers, I felt like I should sit next to the legend herself, Andrea. We were just mentioning the history for today and just how you were the MVP for Providence against UConn in that tournament. So now you get to see your own daughter making a legacy of her own. What's it like experiencing this with her?
It's great. I mean, this whole journey has been a great experience from the time she started dribbling the basketballs till now, and just, you know, living through her carelessly. Of course, we both, her father and I both had our own experiences, but sharing this with her is a great adventure, yeah.
Well, she has a great example ahead of her when you're looking at how you led the Friars in rebounding every single season you were with them. She led her team for the Tigers the first 2 seasons in rebounding, second, her junior and senior now at this point. What have you been able to instill in her about how she has to dominate in this game?
It's all about the work ethic. You know what I mean? It's of course, the ACC is a tough conference, similar to what the Big East used to be. So it's grinding day in, day out. So just continuing to work hard and grind every day to get to where she's at now.
I love how she is also just a great student as well. And I know that she's been incredible on the floor, but when it comes to your family and how much she loves her sister Kennedy, who we've been able to highlight as well, what's it like with this family and that dynamic of supporting one another?
Oh my gosh, it is like no other. You know what I mean? And when you don't see one without the other, on season and off season. So it's just that they're really close, and she has been a very intricate person in Kennedy's life. So, you know, we cherish that.
Last question, it's a very important one. In your prime and in Robinson's prime and Amari's, who's winning the game?
In the prime, I would have to say me.
I think I'll take that bet as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Angel.
I'll take it too, Angel. Andrea and I share a special bond because she has Kennedy and I have Frankie, and that makes us family right away. And you know what? Amari is everything her mom said. She's hardworking, she's coachable, she has enjoyed being a Tiger, and she continues to play well. But I don't know. Amari might have to disagree with her mom on that one. And we're not even putting Keith in the conversation. But Deja Kelly did pick up her 4th foul while we were away from action for a minute.
Yeah, so that'll certainly be a concern for North Carolina. And interestingly, Debbie, initially it was whistled against Usby as her 4th, and then we found it was changed to Kelly, her 4th.
You know, here's the thing, Jen. You know, with the added depth of McPherson and the way Paulina Paul has been playing, right?
Paris, yep.
Paris, excuse me, Paris. Paulina Paris has been playing. This gives Courtney Banghart a chance to leave Deja Kelly out there with 3 fouls and let her play because she trusts the depth that she's been able to develop over the season.
After that 4th, she did go to the bench, of course. And there's a good crowd in here for this one tonight. A lot of Carolina fans in the crowd. Clemson orange as well.
That's the other thing I will say, the triangle with what NC State has done in Westmore. And congratulations, Wes, winning 800 games in a brilliant, long time, a successful career. That's amazing to be able to get that many W's. And what Courtney Banghart is building and what is happening at Duke, it's all good hoops in the triangle.
Eva Hodson, welcome back. The redshirt senior, we told you, was out for 8 games in conference play. She's back now the last 3, including tonight, but her last 2, Debbie, she was 0 for 8, 0 for 5 from 3. She's now hit 4 triples tonight. Six to shoot. Offense has not come easy for Clemson unless it's been Amari Robinson. Usby way too easy to the rim.
No one stops the ball. And Amari Robinson's got to come back in the game. Somebody has to stop the basketball. You can't let Usby go rim to rim.
And Yang rattles it home.
Yeah, Clemson's got to get a few stops in a row. If you can just get 3 in a row here to end the quarter, and then you get 3 possessions to score, you're right back in it.
Tigers trying to live to play another day in the postseason. Not projected as one of the 9 ACC teams by Charlie Creeman to the NCAA field.
There's 1 stop.
4 Clemson subs getting ready to come in, but Eno Inyang saying, leave me out here, coach. Back-to-back buckets.
There's 1 score. Now you got it to 10.
Ball tipped out of bounds. It is off of Clemson. It'll stay with the Tar Heels.
Just another example of the versatile skill set. She crosses up Hannah Hank, turns her in the backcourt, and then just drives straight to the front of the rim. Untouched, uncontested.
14 points in the game for Alyssa Usby, 3 in double figures for the Tar Heels, along with Todd Williams and Hodson. Those 4 subs all coming back on the floor, including Amari Robinson for Clemson. Five to shoot. There's a steal, another stop, Debbie. Is there another score for Clemson?
Oh, and that's 4 on Usby.
Wow.
It couldn't have gone any better for Amanda Butler right there. Big steal. And a foul on Usby. 4 on Kelly, 4 on Alyssa Usby.
Wow, so certainly this is going to be a storyline to follow as this one goes on. It is a 10-point lead for the Tar Heels. Robinson back off the floor for Clemson. But 2 of their key players in some serious foul trouble. And Usby staying out there. Not anymore. Now she goes off.
I'll tell you right now, Steve and Barbara Butler are home, and they are on the edge of their seat watching their daughter Amanda coach here in the ACC tournament.
To shoot for Harris in North Carolina. Destiny Adams, 5. Tar Heels need a shot. They won't get it. Clemson defense starting to flex its muscle.
3 stops in a row. Last possession for the Tar Heels. If Clemson can get a stop here, they're going to have momentum going to the locker room.
7-0 Clemson run.
Oh, sorry, that's right. This is the 3rd quarter. They're going to the 4th quarter. I'm getting excited. I lost my mind. There's another one.
4 straight stops. Will there be 4 straight scores? One of them came from the free throw line. No, it goes out of bounds, but nonetheless, Clemson is pushing a 7-0 run to end the 3rd quarter. We got a good one coming up. Quarter 4 on the way. The Ally ACC Women's Tournament is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Look at our crew having some fun coming up later tonight after Boston College and Miami wraps up our coverage here on day 2 of the ACC Women's Tournament. The Nothing But Net crew, you can see they're getting prepped in every way that they need to give you all of the post-game coverage and analysis you could want, with highlights, insight on what we've seen and what's to come.
Since they're in the bus driver's lounge, I'm just wondering which one of them drives the bus. I'm guessing it's Kelsey.
Oh, it's a great crew. Fantastic to have everybody here on site together for this ACC tournament. Quarter 4 now. Clemson's been pushing. A couple of Tar Heels in foul trouble, both Usby and Kelly. And then the speed of McPherson just gets people tangled up. So there's the foul trouble that you can see for North Carolina. Mari Robinson picked up those 3 fouls in the first half.
So Courtney Banghart has 2 freshmen in the backcourt right now, trying to manage the 4th quarter of this game. And I know she has confidence in both of them. When I spoke to her this morning, she knew they had to defend the 3, and they've done that fairly well. They've been able to score from 3, and their defense has definitely impacted Clemson's ability to score. So can they keep it up?
Kids back there rooting mom on. Courtney Banghart's 3 kids, Eli, Tucker, and Gray, all in their favorite jerseys, and a nephew. Is that what you
Miles
call
in the middle.
We're looking for a little more positive energy from North Carolina. Clemson has snatched the momentum here over the last few minutes. 7-0 run to end the 3rd quarter. Cut North Carolina's lead in half. The Tar Heels had been up by as many as 14 in the 3rd.
There's another steal.
And Bradford 2nd in the conference in steals per game. Can't turn it into 2.
Oh, that might have been travel. She came down with the ball.
Came down with an elbow, too. So no Usby, no Kelly, McPherson and Paris, the 2 freshmen you mentioned in the backcourt for the Tar Heels. Hodgson back, 7 to shoot. Paris will line up the 3 off the mark.
Clemson's got a real opportunity here. They got numbers in transition.
Robinson. Whitehorn managed to grab the rebound for Clemson. And McPherson picks up the foul. Deja Kelly coming back on the floor. Have to be strategic with this,
yeah,
I'd imagine.
But I think it's a good move to get her back on the court, because you just want to go with experience here to finish off a game. And, you know, North Carolina was in a tough game with Duke. They lost in overtime to North Carolina State. They lost on a buzzer beater to Virginia Tech. So Clemson wants to keep the game pressure on them. for a late game situation to be in it for an opportunity.
And you mentioned Duke. That is who the winner of this game will face in the next round. Could it be another Duke-North Carolina matchup? The Tar Heels got the better of the Blue Devils twice in the regular season. Kelly in some trouble. Bradford is just hounding all of the ball carriers for the Tar Heels.
The quickness factor is really an advantage here for Clemson. And Deja Kelly continues to handle the ball to draw that foul.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of contact. Eventually, the foul is called on Perpignan, her second.
Tar Heels are looking for some freedom of movement, maybe?
I would say that was Deja Kelly's argument. She's not had a lot of freedom to move in this game. Tough D being played by the Tigers. Adams wanted it back. Poole on the baseline. Tigers are there. It'll stay with North Carolina.
There is so much quickness with Perpignan and Bradford and Whitehorn on the floor right now.
7 on the shot clock.
Definitely advantage Clemson.
Open look, though, for Kelly.
Good slip to the bucket. Into open space, not over-penetrating. That's the veteran experience that Courtney Banghart wanted on the floor.
10 points now for Deja Kelly. 9-point North Carolina lead. Eric Bruton making the call right over there in front of the Clemson bench. It's on McPherson.
Both ways is what you hear the fans yell when that happens. Call it both ways, right? I think the officials have done a good job.
So it's 2 team fouls apiece for Clemson and North Carolina in this quarter. Whitehorn, good look inside for Bradford. Tough to get it to go, but she does. Kelly, hesitation, opens some space. Hodson, quick to the corner, McPherson, heel on the line.
I don't know how Bradford got this up to the rim. Watch this take right here. In between a couple of giants for North Carolina, and she gets it to the rim, what kept her focus on the rim.
Well, you said it at the top, Debbie. Clemson with momentum. They've won 3 in a row, won their last 2 of the regular season. This is an offensive foul against the Tigers.
That's an illegal screen, and again, another call from the bench by Amanda Butler to get behind North Carolina's defense on a back cut.
Also back in for Clemson.
Tigers had those 3 straight wins that I mentioned, including round 1 yesterday against Pitt. This tournament's tough when you're a double-digit seed. The Tigers trying to fight their way through against a rival they know well. 90th meeting all time between these 2 programs. North Carolina with the advantage. And they've won 28 of the last 30 between the 2. Kelly, couple more. In Yang is the post presence for Clemson. No Robinson on the floor. No, she is, excuse me, calling for it now. It's 2 points for Amari Robinson, though, since the midway point, second quarter. She gets it, spins to the basket, finish.
What a move. Remember in the first quarter, I talked about how she knows where she is on the floor when she catches it. So important to make it a 3-possession game for Clemson.
Mom, Andrea, cheering her daughter on. 21 points for Robinson. A couple of Tar Heels hit the deck on that play.
On balance, spins away, off the glass. 17 first half points, 4 here in the second for Amari Robinson.
So Usby with 4 fouls back on the floor for North Carolina, along with Deja Kelly.
I mean, we've seen some interesting things already here today. How about Wake Forest? A 31-point swing. Jewel Spear, 19 second half points. Down 18 at the half. What an incredible job by Wake Forest to advance to play tomorrow.
Second largest comeback in ACC tournament history for the Demon Deacons. They were down 20 at one point in that game. Kelly, wide open look. Adams comes flying in for the rebound and is fouled.
This is the kind of extra effort that you got to make, right? Off the ground to the glass.
Adams at the free throw line for North Carolina Tar Heels. This is just their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. First one good from Adams. Boston College getting set to take the floor next. They'll take on the Miami Hurricanes. The lead back to 9 for North Carolina. Whitehorn. Freshman takes it in herself, and it's going the other way. She and Todd Williams get tangled up. Told you Clemson trying to keep their postseason alive, move on to tomorrow. North Carolina would love to just solidify that spot to host for the NCAA tournament, currently projected as a 4 seed by Charlie Cream. Take care of business here at the ACC tournament.
10 on the shot clock. Clemson's D's taking them deep into their options.
Hodgson hands it off. Adams, 2 more.
Nice pass.
Is 8 points for Destiny Adams, a sophomore who averages 4.3. One of those players stepping up for the Tar Heels tonight. Very balanced effort for North Carolina. 4 in double figures. Whitehorn. Robinson on the offensive glass.
That is a weight room bucket. High off the glass, Amari Robinson is just single-handedly willing her team. Look at this extra effort. She snatches it and draws the contact, and Mom is saying, just like I used to do it.
You know, it's been a key to success in this tournament since we went to the double bye for the top 4 seeds. Being a top 4 seed, and they're coming to play tomorrow. They will make their debut. Louisville at 4, Virginia Tech the 3 seed, Duke the 2 seed, Notre Dame, your regular season champions. All taking the floor tomorrow in the quarterfinal round of the ACC Women's Tournament.
In a league full of talented teams, Notre Dame wins the regular season. Congratulations to the Irish and Niele Ivey for being head coach and for being the coach of the year, of this particular season, which I think is the deepest the league has ever been. So you have to be good to win the ACC regular season, and Notre Dame is the best this season. Now, that will set up all the teams for the NCAA, because 9 should get in, including Syracuse. And if Syracuse is on the bubble, I think they're going to have a real good chance to be in the conversation to make it. And if they do make it, they are ready to play and ready to win a game in the NCAA, like all the other teams in the league.
Hannah Hank, I believe, is going to get called for the foul here. That will be her 4th. Syracuse losing earlier today against NC State, 8-9 matchup. So the Wolfpack's bid to continue their streak of ACC tournament titles still alive. They've won the last 3. A reminder to fans to download the ACC 3-Point Challenge app presented by New York Life. That helps benefit the local boys and girls clubs. You can score points for your school, and after the tournament, the local boys and girls club will receive a donation from New York Life based on their affiliated ACC team's final ranking. Can Clemson find a way to close the gap? You called for 3 or 4, was it 3?
3 stops, 3 scores, and they did it at the end of the quarter.
Went on a 7-0 run to start the 4th. That was the end of the 3rd that they had that run.
Oh, big rebound by Adams. She has done a good job cleaning up the glass lately. And North Carolina's going to try to take some time and go a little bit deeper. Clemson's going to have to get out of the matchup into their man.
Both teams shooting almost the same, 42% for Clemson, 44% for North Carolina for the game. Rebounds almost even. It's a 1+1 advantage for the Tar Heels on the boards. 3 seconds here for North Carolina to work with.
Amanda Butler, I think, is going to substitute offense defense right here. Get a little more size to get a rebound. And Clemson did play 10 possessions of man against North Carolina, according to Synergy, when they met earlier this year. So I'm not surprised to see it. North Carolina was prepared for it.
Perpignan drives with her left, good finish.
Good take to the bucket.
Clemson trying to push, North Carolina trying to hang on.
Putting some game pressure on the Heels.
Adams setting a mean screen.
There's another steal. North Carolina has turned the ball over quite a bit here in the second half.
15th turnover of the game by the Tar Heels. Jump ball, and Elmore and Todd Williams not willing to take the hands off the basketball. Pete Cantner saying, ladies, the whistle has blown. But there is nothing like the postseason to bring out the passion, bring out the intensity.
There you go, turnovers right there. 7 in the first half, 8 here in the second. The difference is the 8 have been more live ball. They've been steals by Clemson, which has allowed them to get some buckets.
Bradford thought for a moment there she'd gotten away with it, but is whistled for the foul.
Now North Carolina is going to shoot some free throws.
And North Carolina will be shooting the rest of the way. 7th team foul by the Tigers in this quarter. North Carolina with 3 fouls. So Hodgson will step to the free throw line. Started her career at William and Mary. This is now her 2nd season as a part of the North Carolina team. Want to remind you about the 70th annual New York Life ACC Men's Tournament starting next Tuesday here at the Greensboro Coliseum. First round action coming your way on Tuesday at 4:37 Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Bradford was calling for it, top of the 3-point circle. Foul against Clemson as Usby just hung on to the ball, and that is the 5th on Hannah Hank. The hero for Clemson in the first round now makes an early exit, just 2 points tonight.
Amanda Butler using up her time to substitute to get a quick play in for her team on the offensive side. Assuming they secure the rebound here, should Usby miss. And this is the one part of Usby's game that needs to improve, just a 58% free throw shooter. A little surprising, isn't it?
It is. Every time I look at that number, I underline it in red and I'm a little bit mystified.
You sure do underline it in red.
You didn't believe it? I'm trying to show my boards to everybody. Give away all my secrets, Debbie.
See this right here? This is Jen's preparation, right? See this right here? This is mine.
Yeah, but you don't see all the hours of watching all
Right.
that video on Synergy, Debbie. That's a different
Good
thing.
point.
Good teammates know how to prepare
That's
differently because
right.
we got each other's back.
Exactly.
It's just felt like an uphill battle for much of this game for Clemson. They make a push, but North Carolina's withstood it and has managed to hang on to the lead. Todd Williams got the tip to herself, the steal, and score.
That's a tough turnover. That could be it. That could be the one. Amanda Butler needs a timeout. That's a tough turnover right there for Clemson. Right here, Kennedy Todd Williams gets the tip and deflection to herself. I think Clemson had a little confusion over their out-of-bounds play.
.11 Tar Heel lead, 1:41 to play in the third of 4 games today from the Greensboro Coliseum. Day 2, round 2 of the ACC Women's Tournament. Winner of this game will move on to face 2nd-seeded Duke Blue Devils. That gives you an idea of what each team has left. So the next foul by North Carolina would put Clemson in the bonus. Tar Heels already there. A couple timeouts for Clemson, 3 for North Carolina. Who's gonna get that spot to take on Duke? I think anybody other than those in Clemson Orange would argue about seeing another Duke-North Carolina tussle. What a great season Kerr Lawson's team has had, finishing 2nd in the ACC. North Carolina handed them 2 of their 4 ACC losses on the season.
Deja Kelly came in with those 4 fouls. Courtney Banghart didn't like a couple of freshmen in the backcourt. Kelly made a couple of buckets and has handled the Clemson pressure fairly well.
Adams stuck in the corner, timeout. Courtney Banghart and North Carolina.
Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Possession arrow with Clemson. Both teams will be in the bonus. On the next North Carolina foul, Clemson will shoot free throws, but I don't anticipate them fouling at this point. So I think Amanda Butler drawing up a play for a three. I would give it to Amari Robinson.
Yeah, she is their leader in percentage. About 35% on the season three-point shooter, Amari Robinson.
Should Clemson lose this game, they are NIT eligible, and I would think the committee would love to have Clemson the way they finished the year, winning 3 of their last 4, should they not win here. Getting 7 wins in conference play.
Todd Williams is fouled. She'll be shooting free throws.
Kennedy Todd Williams split the D, steps through, and there's the foul.
Yeah, you talk about Clemson just improving their resume as the season has finished up here in the regular season. So they've won 3 in a row coming into today. Had won their last 2, but Debbie, 3 of their last 4 ACC losses were by 5 points or less.
Yeah.
2 of those were in overtime.
Good point, Jen, and that speaks to Clemson's resume. They do have 2 wins against the top 25. Their net is inside 64. Not only should they play in the NIT, they probably should host.
Meanwhile, North Carolina has their sights set on their Tobacco Road rivals, the Duke Blue Devils, awaiting the winner of this one tomorrow. The young players have had their moments to help carry this Tar Heel team, both in this game and this season. The veterans have played their part. Usby had to battle foul trouble, still has 15 on 7 of 12 shooting, 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
And now we start turning our attention to the Duke Blue Devils. I can't wait.
What a tough defensive team. In particular, Duke has been one of the best.
45-41. They call it an elite defensive effort. Somebody better score tomorrow.
Could be a first to 50 type affair.
Yeah, North Carolina has a few more offensive weapons. Duke's going to shrink the game and try to limit the number of possessions I think that North Carolina will get, and they'll certainly bring a great defensive effort led by the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, Celeste Taylor, who also leads them in scoring.
No team made a bigger jump from their preseason projection to where they finished than the Duke Blue Devils.
Duke had a chance to share the regular season title, right? North Carolina knocked them out of the picture, and then Notre Dame went and won on the road in Louisville, which was a really tough place to win. So Notre Dame earned it.
And a little extra fire and motivation added to a rivalry that never needs it.
There's the 3 for Robinson, absolutely. Good call by Coach Butler. That's the spot that Amari must like.
Now, she's had quite a performance, Amari Robinson. 24 points, 8 for 11 from the floor, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Trying to keep the hopes for her Clemson team alive. Time running out. 27 now for Amari, ties her career high. You mentioned the Defensive Player of the Year, Celeste Taylor. We'll see some more of those award winners. Such a disappointment not to see Tanaya Latson out due to injury for Florida State, Rookie of the Year, who led the ACC in scoring. But Liz Kitley, back-to-back Player of the Year.
I mean, come on, back-to-back Player of the Year in this league. That's impressive for Elizabeth Kitley from Virginia Tech. Kenny Brooks, I thought he did a Coach of the Year kind of job as well with his club. It's been a great year in the regular season, and no surprise the tournament has delivered so far.
comebacks, buzzer beaters, tight games all throughout the season. I mean, there was not a night in the ACC, I don't think, where there wasn't a great game or two or three. And expecting some great matchups coming your way tomorrow. 4 more on the way from the Greensboro Coliseum. We'll have you covered for all of it right here on ACCN.
And Courtney Banghart elects in her timeout not to advance the ball. That was a timeout by Clemson, excuse me. Courtney Banghart did not call timeout.
Miami Hurricanes getting ready to take the floor. 6th seed in this tournament. Getting their groove on before they come on out to take on Boston College. That was the 5th foul on Deja Nunu Bradford, the senior for the Clemson Tigers. She's a junior college transfer. Such a tremendous defensive player and had spurts like yesterday where she can turn it on the offensive end as well. 15 points, really helping Clemson out in that win against the Pitt Panthers.
And she had averaged 14.5 the last 4. And see, that's the kind of play that is positive and trending in the right direction for Clemson for more postseason. I don't think their season's over.
Well, McPherson missed both the free throws, got her own rebound, and then committed the offensive foul. That was her 3rd personal, so that gives the Tigers the basketball. There's one thing North Carolina is going to want to improve. Just 50% conversion rate from the free throw line in this game, 7 for 14. Elmore, front of her bench. The North Carolina crowd rising to their feet here in the Greensboro Coliseum, sensing victory is near. High fives, fist bumps all around. Bring on the Battle of the Blues in the quarterfinal round tomorrow. North Carolina winners by 10 over Clemson. Okay, Debbie, let's take a look at our Bojangles' big bow moment of tonight's game.
What a game for Alyssa Usby. Up the line, steals, 6 boards and 4 assists, 15 points on 12 shots, 34 minutes battling foul trouble. A fantastic job of leading her team to victory to give them a chance to advance and get another date with the Duke Blue Devils. It'll be packed in here tomorrow for that one. I can't wait.
Usby, part of our Bojangles' big bow moment of tonight's game. Managed foul trouble and stayed on the floor when her coach needed her out there. 4 Tar Heels in double figures led by Usby's 15. We're just about done filling out that quarterfinal bracket. You can get a look at some of the matchups coming your way tomorrow. Only 1 slot left. Will it be Miami or Boston College? We'll be back here to help you find out the answer to that one as those 2 teams coming up to finish out our day of day 2 here at the ACC Women's Tournament in Greensboro. Courtney Banghart gets her first ACC tournament victory. And her star, Alyssa Usby with Angel.
Alyssa, this program was one and done the past 3 years in this tournament. You pick up your first win. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. You know, we came in tonight with a lot of competitive fire because we knew that we haven't won here in the last 3 years. We're like, well, this is the time we put an end to that.
Courtney Banghart, your coach, just put the heart sign behind you as well. What is it like doing this for her, too?
She's the best coach I've ever had, and it's like I feel like I fulfilled my duty as a player to get a win here for my coach.
You guys were shorthanded a good portion of this season, but knowing that you had 4 players in double figures, you were able to share the ball very well. How important is it to have that balance as you continue in this tournament?
Yeah, our bench is huge for this tournament. As we know, it's a long stretch to the championship, and our guys have been stepping up, so it's pretty cool to see everything kind of come together.
And on the other side, you get Duke in the next game. How sweet is that?
amazing. Can't wait to see them again.
Thanks for your.
Yeah, thank you.
The Tar Heels are healthy, they are hungry, and they are moving on to the quarterfinal round of the ACC tournament. North Carolina Duke, part of a big day coming up tomorrow. North Carolina winners tonight over Clemson. For now, we're going to send you over to our studio crew. Taylor Tannenbaum and the Nothing But Net crew. It's all yours.
There you see her, Alyssa Usby. High fives all around. She deserves high fives right back because she had a great game leading UNC to the 68-58 win over Clemson, breaking it down at center court. Hard hand.